Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's season 2 of Belle Collective, episode 1, New Belle and New Babies. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around and keep all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. Latrice is up early cooking breakfast for her husband Cliff while she speaks with her publicist Melanie. Her company Goddess Lens is still doing well. She even was featured in Forbes magazine, highlighting her success. She's still very inspired to encourage others to become entrepreneurs as she started her company with only $300. She suggests a tea for the ladies to come together, vibe, and celebrate success. Before she can get too deep into the details, Cliff walks in to speak with Latrice. Latrice makes a note to production that there is a 20-year age gap between herself and her husband. He wants her to stay home and be a housewife, but she loves being her own boss. So no. Also, Cliff has 5 children and Amber is the youngest. He has 4 sons. The relationship between her and Cliff's children are not very close due to her age. Her connection with Amber is more like a friendship and not even close to motherly. Cliff mentioned that possibly they could have their own child, but Latrice doesn't see how that's possible with the both of them so busy. Latrice thinks Cliff only wants her to have a baby to slow her down. She lets him know that if she doesn't have a baby, their marriage will still be strong. Cliff mentions that there's more than one way to have a baby, and Latrice shows slight shade at another cast member, Lateshia, saying if he pulls a Glenn, there will be a divorce. Speaking of Lateshia, she updates that she's better than ever. She's healthier, working out more, and has Lateshia Pearson Enterprise that houses several companies. And she has an organization, Women Brunch Mississippi. She's striving for 10 streams of income. Since last season, she tried to revive Ferris Street, but doors of opportunity continue to be closed. Her businesses are booming. Unfortunately, her personal life isn't doing so well. She's staying with her mother due to a faulty marriage and is now separated from Glenn. She doesn't trust him due to an affair and a possible baby. After Glenn reproposed last season, he's still texting and communicating with another woman. Through it all, they're doing their best to co-parent with their son, Josh. Glenn mentions that he can't believe they're separated and he's actually picking up his son from her mother's house. But Lateshia isn't ready to have that conversation in detail at the moment. After Glenn leaves, she can't help but to break down in tears while her mother consoles her. She says to production that she is more sad for her son, who has to experience a heartache of a separation at 6 years old. Of course, her son would want everything to go back to normal, but the trust is broken and everything is off and different. Marie introduces her rebirth look as a blonde, Marie Monroe. She added an opiate treatment program sector to her mental health agency. She's opening up 5 methadone clinics as well. She's the first Black woman in Jacksonville to own a methadone clinic. She literally made history. Essie, her business partner, are still ride or die friends. Marie thinks that it was hilarious that viewers from last season thought that they were lesbians, but that's not the case at all. She's in love with the D. The relationship with Cedric is even more awkward than ever. They just walked away and never got closure. She couldn't deal with the infidelity. Not only does Marie still have a full house with her children, but her mom as well, who later asked to stay with her. But she couldn't say no. Her mother was recently released from rehab, but she's still precautious. Her mom is an addict. Her father raised her, so now maybe it's a chance to make up for lost time. Then a tragedy happened. Raven Coleman was shot and killed while her 2-year-old son was in the back seat. Gladly, the child was unharmed. Raven is the mother of one of Marie's grandchildren. Her and her son literally had to pick up her grandchild, Zane, from the crime scene. Seeing the bullet-riven vehicle was traumatizing. Essie comes by the office to check on Marie while Jerez is on his way to pick up Zane. She can't fathom how to tell her grandchild that his mother is never coming home. Jerez is beyond devastated. The strain of taking care of everyone is having a harming effect on Marie. Jerez says to production that it's still surreal. I feel numb. It hurts to hold my son knowing that he will grow up without his mother. Marie wants him to be strong and just do one job, stay in school and do well. She compliments his growth and sees change from him being more responsible. The moment of sadness is broken by some much needed humor. Her grandson breaks wind with a loud fart. Tambra is still doing her thing as a radio and television show personality. She's the midday diva on 97.7 that went #1 even during the pandemic. She's even released an immune-boosting tea. The tea is currently being sold in 2 stores, but the goal is to get the tea in more stores across the country. Tisha stops by to see Lateshia and congratulate her on her wonderful company, especially the display sign. She's helped Tisha with the interior design finishing touches. Tisha wants to invite everyone for an event, but Tisha isn't too fond of Tambra. She can't understand how Tisha and Tamra have grown so close over a short period of time. Tisha warns Tisha that there are some things that Tambra should know about her. Tambra and Damon meet to visit her fertility doctor. They both feel that what they have is genuine and want to continue to develop their relationship. Tam feels that he's a wonderful man and would make an amazing father. They've known each other for years and need to get even closer. Since her last follow-up from the doctor, she had surgery to remove an estimated 4 fibroids, but they discovered and removed 39 fibroids. The doc wants to know about their unprotected sexual activity to increase the chances of pregnancy. There's only one problem. They've only been having protected sex. Tamra mentions that she wanted to get married first, and since he's been talking about marriage, they should consider trying to possibly wait till after marriage to have the baby. While Tamra and Damon are back at the doctor, Tisha is spilling some steaming hot tea. Apparently, the man that Ty has been seeing is Tamra's so-called man. She's always just told Lateshia about him using a different name, Greedy. Lateshia is in shock and doesn't know how to move normal around Tambra. Ty explains that she didn't know about their so-called relationship. She was only aware because Lateshia has made this new friend and they crossed paths. Latrice gets her house ready for a high-fashion tea, but she doesn't like tea or crumpets. Instead, she's serving cocktails and assorted drinks with tea girls to serve. She catches Melanie up on the information about the newbie who will arrive, SoGucci, who's JJ's husband. She's a top real estate agent in Jacksonville. She's even helped Latrice to find her first estate property, so they go way back. Their husbands even knew each other before Latrice was born. Sophia Otis Williams, but she goes by SoGucci. She guarantees to add spice to anyone's life. She sold over $1 million in profits from her properties. She's even a certified personal trainer. She has the perfect life, so of course she's going to have some haters. If she didn't have any haters, then she would have to check herself. Tamra arrives and the tea girls prank her into thinking that they're serving green tea. After a taste, it's clear that that's not what's bringing the laughs. Latrice is happy that Lateshia arrived and their bond is getting better with time. Last season, Latrice shared with her privately that she had some information about Glenn and possibly a baby. So Gucci tells production that Lateshia's outfit was nice, but her edges needed some help. She needed to slick down those edges a little bit more. The energy starts off amazing and Latrice proudly displays her new boobs. Latrice introduces Sophia to everyone, but Lateshia can't help but to notice there are a few empty chairs. Where's Marie? Latrice is still hurt that Marie accused her of reporting Medicaid fraud. There's a speculation that Latrice spread rumors online about her facilities from season 1. Latrice says to production that I did no such thing. Even if that information were true, I'm from the hood and I know the code. Don't snitch. Since last season, their relationship has always been rocky. The ladies agree that if you don't mesh with a person, sometimes it's best just to let some things go. Lateshia jumps right into the question with Tambra. Are you still seeing Damon? Tamra reports that everything is great, and Tisha eggs on many questions. So you and him are great? There are talks of having a baby, right? You being a wife? She says to production that she wants to spill the beans to Tambra, but doesn't have enough proof of what Ty is saying to be facts. Tambra says to production that she feels Lateshia is asking all those questions because she's going through a difficult time in her life. Maybe she means well? Tambra tells the ladies that she's always had protected sex and would prefer to be married before having children. Latrice jokes with Tambra that so she's had protected sex for 50 years. So, no, she's got to keep the juices flowing. She doesn't believe Tambra for 1 second, and Tisha warns Tambra that a ring won't stop a man from cheating. Look at Beyonce, J-Lo, and Halle Berry. She needs to be 100% ready and knowing if Damon is ready for her and what she wants in her life. She's even wondering if Glenn really has a baby or not. Is it really his? She wants her marriage to continue, but she wants to know if this baby belongs to him. The way she's feeling, if it is her child, she may just even take the child in. Sophia says to production that she better let Glenn handle his own matters because he did his own thing raw. Tisha speaks with Marie to check with her emotionally and to encourage her to stay strong. There's an unexpected visitor, and it's Glenn. Tisha says to production that she's conflicted. She wants to work things out with Glenn, but she's still hurt. Glenn says to production that he's happy to see her business empire evolving and he's proud of her. He even says that he's happy for her self-love and self-care, adding air quotes around the statement, which comes off as condescending. He even says that he's concerned, but Tisha finds it interesting that she's doing her own thing now. And now he's concerned? The truth is that she's not under his thumb and under the same roof, and he just wants to keep his eyes on her. He has always wanted so much attention with constant calls, checking in on her throughout the day, wanting to know her every move. She's not looking at the past, but his actions contradict each other. He re-proposed to her, and the same night he texted another woman. With ease, he admits that he's a little toxic, but he's not a bad guy. Tisha says that he's behaving like a hoe and having unprotected sex with someone else that he claims that he didn't care about. He had sex with someone else and came back home to have sex with her. He says to production that he will not give up trying to get his wife back and hopes that she's still in love with him. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. So welcome back, y'all. It's season 2 of Belle Collective, and I went back on my word. I said that as I was reviewing the last episode of the reunion special of the season that I would not be doing the reviews for season 2 because I felt that the show started off great, showing these wonderful women who are entrepreneurs, who are black, who are wonderful, who are positive, beautiful. And I was just very kind of timid on, are they going to turn it into this drama-filled series? And I was very afraid about that. Season 2 seems like they're trying to hold on to the focus of them being entrepreneurs and them being business women, but they are stirring the pot with some more drama. I can see that. So hopefully it doesn't turn into some mess. I hope that they keep it professional. But I did say that last season it was a great show. It was a lot of information, but it did have its snooze moments. It did have its snoozers. It had its moments where you're like, okay, this is great, but it's kind of boring. Unfortunately, with reality TV, it has evolved into, oh, that's great, but what about the drama? People are entertained by negativity. But this season 2, it seems like production is really trying hard to just add just a little bit of drama while keeping the focus on the collective of all the Belles and them being great and them trying to move forward. When you get a chance to, if you did not look at my reviews of season 1, make sure that you do that because I break down all of the individuals that are involved and how their relationships according to society has changed. Perfect example. With society, we have a lot of women who are rethinking or re-evaluating what is more important to them. We have this society kind of image of you go to school, you get married, you have the children, and when it comes to being a woman, when it comes to children, it can become a determinant factor on the speed or the growth of career. More women over time have decided to choose their career over having children, and then later on having children by freezing their eggs, via surrogate, etc. With that shift in society, a lot of men, because of roles and Western society and how we think roles should be and what men should do and what women should do, it changes the perception of a man and them thinking, am I needed? What am I here for? But let's just be real. I talked about the freedoms, and this show shows this perfectly, about how men, because of society, okay, I'm not bashing men, just because of society, men can usually have both faster than women. Usually a man can develop his career, the wife can be pregnant, stay home with the baby while the husband is still staying consistent with career. There's not this moment of stopping and slowing him down. With the motherly nurturing, women stop to nurture the children, and there is a pause on career. So many women are saying, hey, I don't want to have kids when I'm 28. I don't want to have kids when I'm 34. I'm trying to go to school. I'm trying to get my master's. I'm trying to get my doctorate. I'm trying to follow my dream. But when it comes to biology, when it comes to real life, we have those biological clocks that tick. And there's only so long where a lot of women can have children. There's just this age range of saying, you know what? If you're going to have them, you better have them. If you don't freeze your eggs, you better freeze your eggs. So we're seeing this with this series. I'm really digging Sophia. I think she's really, really cool. She has a lot going for her. I did notice her husband, JJ, that was on the dancing show that was on Lifetime. I can't think of the name of the show right now, but I thought it was very interesting that it's such a small world when it comes to reality TV and who knows who and who does what. I thought that was very interesting. I can't wait till we get more in depth of what Jay does, her husband. What do you do as a profession? Do you have this booming career, or more men accepting, well, my wife makes more money than I do. That's totally fine. I love how we're diving deep and seeing realistic situations. It's unfortunate about Marie. So last season, if you're new to the channel, I expressed that I loved everybody in the cast. We had some unfortunate moments, but it seemed like these are really hardworking individuals. The sad thing about Marie is that she's this beautiful, educated woman, but she has so much on her back that she's carrying. She has such this superwoman. I have on a cape, but underneath there is strain, bleeding, and bruises that Marie has. And usually people, like as I said last season, hurt other people, even if it's unintentional. When you don't have an outlet to really push out those emotions and things that you're going through, you tend to push it and bleed it over to other people, pushing other people away. Last season, her and Latrice had this negative energy back and forth, because I think it's this aura of, who else can I lash out on? If you look at the other women weren't having it. Latrice is tough, but you can tell Latrice is very sensitive, meaning that she only pulls out the fierce and angry card if she has to. So usually people who dominate in that I want to hurt somebody else, they can sense and they can know who they can pounce on. Not giving Marie the permission and condoning her behavior, but what I'm saying is that Marie is going through a lot, y'all. She's had trauma now early in season 2. She had it in season 1, but now season 2, not only are you taking care of your own children, you're taking care of your grown adult son who has a child, the grandbaby and grandbabies. Okay. And unfortunately now your mother, who is an addict, who's never been in your life, is living with you. And you have the traumatic death of your grandchild's mother, who was murdered. That is a lot to unpack compared to the other women and what they're going through in their lives. So it makes sense that every time they have this get together, they're eating, they're trying to have fun. Marie can't do it because her brain is in 50 different places. Not to sound mean, not to sound insensitive, but I wonder if Marie is using the resources that she's providing in her career. She has a lot of mental health facilities, but not to sound mean, I wonder if she's actually utilizing and using those facilities because it's very necessary. So I don't know if you noticed, but we have Antoinette Lyles, the dentist from season 1, who's not there. Let me just say I'm glad she's not there. Not as I didn't like her, but when it comes to medicine and patients and serving people, that in a reality show, I don't see that mixing because your service can be, it can be blotted, right? With a stain of how you're, behaving on reality TV. It may make you think, well, is she going to do a good job? Because she has all this drama in her life, is she gonna stay focused? And also time, time, and then also being able to dedicate that to your patients is huge. Also, her friend that she brought her season 1, the white lady, everybody was just up. The brain was about to explode. This is a black woman show. She's talking all this stuff about black women. She got to go. She had to go. You brought your friend. Production knew what she was doing by bringing a friend, by the insensitive white woman who had all the tears. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to watch season 1 to know and to catch up with what I'm talking about. But I'm glad Antoinette is not on there, and she made the beautiful decision of not returning because she needs to focus on her developing career. Now, the reason why I think she should have pulled away is you got to think this is a one-on-one service as a dentist. The other women have this umbrella of either an enterprise or real estate, or, you have your store and like with Latrice, she honestly doesn't have to be there. It could run itself, but you get what I mean. There's not this, she doesn't have to be there for a one-on-one consultation for everyone who wants to buy extensions and weaves and, wigs. She doesn't have to do that. So there's really more of a hands-on type of approach that Antoinette would have. So hopefully this season, you guys, is really not that much to really talk about. We're still developing all these stories. So this review is not going to be long. So make sure that you tune in next week for the full episode recap and review again. In the meantime, in between time, remember to take care of yourself and each other. Make sure you stay tuned for more and check out other playlists on the channel. We got House of Dragon, and make sure to check out Ready to Love Miami that started today. So take care of yourselves, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.